Thursday at 8 on TV 26.
I am testing this system out. This is a
but it is still our only hope. Because public affairs
using one of these apps
to
connect to YouTube. I'm using a Samsung telephone
and that's what I discovered in doing it.
as a means of shooting myself. The image looks decent on this phone. I don't know what it's going to look like once it gets up online. This is going to be on YouTube. I've never done a YouTube broadcast or stream. I've only done
Hello, sustainers. If you have a question, give us a call.
Turning down the music in the background there. I've only done what do you call it? Facebook Live. We're trying to figure this stuff out. You know, especially with the upcoming 6th East River Jazz Fest, which begins on Friday, June the 9th at WEAC Radio. Ideally, I'm going to have 2 devices set up to actually record or live stream each to each of the places, YouTube and Facebook Live. We'll try Twitter at some point as well. Just trying to figure this stuff out, and you know, at some point, I'd like to really do some real interesting things with that. I played with video. Portable video, when it first hit the scene back in 1969, 1970. So this is kind of coming full circle back to this technology. I really want to see what happens with it, and you know, even have some conversations with audience using it as well. So I'm gonna stop at this point and let's see what's online. I'm going to see if this stuff works. I'm connected. And it's supposed to be giving me live now. It's not, however. I'm going to go back to the front page. Hit live now again and see if anything. What to watch next? Now, I've recorded this thing before. Supposedly it's recording now. However, I don't see it. This is funny. Saw it earlier. As a returning subscriber, perhaps maybe I need to come in. Oh, there I am. Look at this. There I am. There I am. But is it doing anything? I guess so. Look at this. There I am. Oh, look at this. There I am. This is wow. But is it doing anything? Yep, it is doing something. There I am. Oh, look at this. There I am. This is wow. But is it doing anything? Yep, it is doing something. There I am. Maybe I need to turn this down. I don't know. Maybe I need to turn this down. I don't know. Okay. Now, what I was saying earlier, I don't know whether it was recorded or not, but in 1969, 1970, when portable video first came out, Sony had something called a Portapack. It was quite a bit of engineering involved in it, but it allowed you to go out in the streets and shoot video, live video. I think it was black and white, in fact. And we had a lot of fun with that initially. There was a group called the Video Freaks that existed at that time. Nam June Pak was an artist. He's a Korean artist based out of New York that did a lot of stuff at the Kitchen. Eddie Becker, who's here in Washington, was involved. Roberto Faenza, who came over from Italy, a filmmaker. He's back home now. He was involved in fact, Federal City College hired him to do some work with that technology, and I got involved down there as well. And so we had a lot of fun doing things. I documented the first African Street Festival, the African Liberation Day. I went to Africa and a couple of times back, and each time I videotaped. I did videotaping in Liberia for the inauguration of President Tolbert, and I think that was in 1972, 1973. I returned to Africa in 1976, the whole month of October, to Uganda on a trip that was actually organized by Minister Farrakhan for a group of journalists to go over and document the true story of Uganda. And so we were able to go all over the country and visit to different places, especially the areas where tourism was predominant. And we had an opportunity to meet President Idi Amin several times. In fact, I swam with him and his sons in the hotel pool in the hotel we were staying at in Kampala. We also had, I think, 2, maybe 3 meals with him. I have some still photographs from that period of time as well. And so anyway, I use video in both of those situations, and of course back here in the States I use video a lot. And then it kind of stopped after that trip, and I focused on the Maya Gallery, which was a space that I had downtown for 25 years, from 1976 to 2001. And I called it a non-traditional gallery because we exhibited artwork, but we also did a number of other things. And we were one of the first of a group of black galleries that ended up existing in a city. We weren't the first. The very first one on a community level was the Smith Mason Gallery that was located in the 1100 block of Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, just east of Logan Circle. This elderly couple had that gallery. They were really, especially her, she was wonderful. Miss Smith Mason was really wonderful. One time she came down, I guess, shopping downtown, and happened to pass by our space on 11th Street. We were at 720 11th Street. And she said, oh, you have such a wonderful space. She says, how are things going? And it happened that the night before we had a break-in. And so I complained about the break-in. I shared with her about the break-in. In less than an hour, an insurance man called me and said she had suggested that he call me. That was just such a wonderful gesture, and I always will remember that about her. That, you know, she was concerned about our survival, etc. But we did a number of things. Sweet Honey in the Rock, actually, what's going on?